Hi there, I'm Ben Morton and welcome back to this week's Friday Thoughts video. And I'll also say Beagle Tales because last week I had a couple of very friendly complaints that Sadie the Beagle didn't feature. So for those of you who want and need your Beagle fix, there she is pulling on the lead, head down, tail up, as Beagles tend to be. So this week's Friday Thoughts video is actually a follow-up to last week's, based on the fact that I had an email from somebody who watched it saying how interesting and valuable they'd found it, but how they also found emotional control quite challenging. And it was challenging depending on what they were doing, who they were with, the situation they found themselves in. And they were essentially asking me, like, was this normal or is this normal? Have I worked with other leaders where this has been the case from them? If they're operated in this way, are they competent as a leader? Because these ultimately are questions I think we all wrestle with and want to know, like, am I normal? Am I a good, competent leader or not? And my answer to this person was, yes, it's absolutely normal. And whilst the Goldilocks zone, this middle ground in terms of emotional control that I spoke about last week, and if you didn't see last week's, by the way, you can find it on my social feeds or head over to my YouTube channel where we've created a folder for all of these Friday Thoughts video. So whilst the Goldilocks zone is absolutely the place to perhaps strive to hang out for most of the time, that doesn't mean we can't move up and down the spectrum. I mean, a great example of this is if you saw or listened to my podcast interview with General David Petraeus. I asked him about his leadership style. And basically he said, tell me the situation I'm operating in. Tell me who I'm leading. Tell me what you want me to achieve. And I'll tell you my leadership style. What he was essentially saying is that leadership is, of course, situational. And it's the same with emotional control. Emotional control is situational. And to make this real for you, there have been times in my life, both professionally and personally, when I've absolutely wanted to control my emotions, to really appear cool and calm and demonstrate that persona to other people, when the reality was on the inside I was absolutely terrified. And then at the other end of the spectrum, there will be times when it's perfectly appropriate, effective even, to not control our emotions, to really demonstrate our positive emotions, our passion, our excitement around a particular topic or issue. And equally, it may be appropriate from time to time to really share and be free with, let's say, the less positive emotions, to really share our frustrations, disappointment, anger perhaps, with those around us. So you see, emotional control is situation as well. The Goldilocks zone is somewhere to hang out most of the time, but it can be really powerful to move up and down that spectrum, so long as we are not constantly doing that. Because consistency, whilst it might not be particularly sexy, is actually really inspiring. And if people never know what to expect from us, never know how we're going to react, as I mentioned last week, then that becomes quite difficult for them. And it's hard for people to follow us. Hope that's been useful. Hope that's added some more depth to last week's video. It's a slightly longer one this week. So until next week, take care, look after yourselves and lead on.